Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Remarkable You podcast, sharing stories of strength and bringing communities together. I am joined by the remarkable Kathleen of the Little Heart Project, using handmade hearts with words of encouragement to raise awareness about suicide prevention. And before we go any further, I just want to point out she's Remarkable Woman of the Year, right, for 2026. 2025 Shining Star Award recipient, and get this, Wisconsin's Hometown Hero Award recipient. Welcome to the remarkable Kathleen.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you.
Now, I have to share, and I want to start off big, right? That your project has reached not only many across the country, but it's worldwide with over 30,000 hearts distributed. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got into the
Mhm.
Little Heart Project?
Sure. The current number actually is over 175,000 hearts.
Woo! That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy, right? So your question was, how did we start this? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So my therapist showed me a heart, knowing that I like to crochet, and I like to like serving others is my sweet spot. That's what makes me tick. And so my husband and I, brainstormed for about 9 months, like what would this look like if we did something and started collecting sayings and set up a website, and I learned social media, and we thought we wonder, like, I thought it was going to be just me doing this in Western Wisconsin. So we really thought that a local story tied to it would be more impactful. And so that's what we decided to do. We came up with a name, and everybody I met, like, do you crochet? I bet you know someone that does, because with no hearts, there's no project. And now our project is 4 years old. And it, like you said, it has reached across the world. We found very quickly that families who've lost a loved one to suicide are desperate to do something, anything, to help this not happen to the next person. And
Mm.
I just accidentally created this thing that is that thing for so many families around the world.
And it's interesting that you pointed that out just now, because it's almost like you're taking my thoughts from me when you mentioned that anyone who has experienced this with a loved one wants to do what they can to try to spread awareness and support with the prevention. And you mentioned in one of your interviews that you had done that the hearts seem to find the right people.
You do.
And so
Mhm.
I imagine when you were saying that you weren't just only thinking about those that needed that moment or that word of encouragement to lift themselves up for that day, but also for those that are experiencing loss,
Right.
and how powerful that is. Can you
Right.
share some of the stories that you might have received of, how this moment, this reading
Yeah.
the encouraging word on the heart really supported someone?
Yeah. I have so many stories. We could talk for hours and hours. Most recent, I'll give you some recent examples. I got an email from a mom down in Illinois, and her daughter is 10 years old, and her best friend, who's 12, had just died by suicide.
Oh.
I know. So this mom is frantically Googling, what do I say to my daughter? What do I do for myself? How do I take care of our community? Like, what do I do? And she found us, which is again so amazing, because this was supposed to be just me, and now
Mm.
everyone's finding us. And so she wasn't asking for anything. She simply told me the story, said she was going to try and find someone to make hearts for the funeral, and she did. And so this little 10-year-old, oh, took one of our hearts and put it in her best friend's casket.
Mm.
And I know. And on the 1 month anniversary, this mom and 10-year-old wanted to have what we call a crochet party, where you invite your friends and family, community members to come together to make hearts, learn more about the Little Heart Project, learn more about suicide prevention, and be okay saying that word. And to learn that talking about suicide does not cause suicide.
Mm.
Hopelessness causes suicide. So we need to say the word, like practice it in the mirror. And so they did have a crochet party, and these happen all around the country and the world. And I'd love to be at everyone. They're magic. They're just magic. And I told my husband I really want to go to this one. It's 5.5 hours away, a hotel stay and all, and I just need to be with them and to sit and talk with the people in the room about the impact of this on them and their community. And I talked to this little 10-year-old's dad who's a veteran and with tears running down his face, remembering all of his service members who've died by suicide. And now he
Mm.
has to talk to his 10-year-old about it. And to have our hearts be a part of that is so humbling. And I'm always surprised at the reach that this has. I always tell people that there's no wrong place to leave a heart. We have 144 different sayings on our tags. It's all on our website, the crochet pattern, the tags. And there are hurting people everywhere. Hurting people need
Mhm.
to go to the grocery store, need to get gas, go to church, so there is no wrong place to leave this. On a trip we took down to Kansas City to see family members, we were driving through Des Moines and we saw a sign for Trader Joe's. We'd never been to one. So I'm like, let's go. We had time. So we go in and we leave like 20 hearts around the store and we're on our way to see our relatives. And I got a message the next day from a woman who'd found a heart there. And she said, I found this heart at Trader Joe's in West Des Moines. She's holding it in the palm of her hand. They're very small, 2 inches. And she said, right after I found this heart, I went into the bathroom and I miscarried my baby.
Oh,
And my baby was the exact same size as this heart. You'll never know how much this means to me. And so when I say there are hurting people everywhere, there are. And these little notes of encouragement can help. On the back of all of our tags is a 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, which is a free 24/7 resource where you can call for a friend, you can call with a friend, and they are equipped to help you. And so we're very proud to have that on the back of all of our tags.
and I thank you for sharing those stories and those experiences that others have had with the Little Heart Project, and in knowing just over the 100,000 recipients of hearts that you've had, you could keep going and going and going with those stories. But what I want to point out for those that are listening to us today is that you kept using the word when talking about the heart, small,
Mhm,
small,
mhm,
small,
mhm.
and just really pointing out that a small
Right,
act, a
right,
small heart can be life changing for
right,
someone,
right,
can be everything that they needed.
right,
And so, to anyone who is listening and has had thoughts of, you know what, like I want to help, I want to do
yep,
something in the community, I want to make a difference. It
yep,
doesn't have to be this massive idea that we
right,
have. We can do something
right,
small that will have a larger impact than any of us could ever
right.
imagine.
And it's so simple it probably shouldn't work, but I think that's why it does work. Because
Mm,
although I'm in Western Wisconsin, you're in Massachusetts, someone down in
yes.
Georgia, someone in California can find this and you just do it. There's no reporting involved. I think this is supposed to be healing and fun. I don't think record keeping's either. So no record keeping for everyone else involved. We do because
Mhm.
journalists want to know. But just do it. Like if you don't crochet, find someone that does. You can tie the tags.
Mhm.
There's so many ways to be involved, and
Mhm.
it's not hard.
And, in reading about the Little Heart Project, I've seen that it's been all over the country. It is all over the country. It's also reached Europe, India, Central America. So
Mhm.
that shows that, these moments to uplift each other, to encourage one another, to lift each other up, it's not just confined to a neighborhood, a demographic. It is worldwide,
Right,
the support that we all need because life can life, right?
right, exactly, exactly. Yeah,
Life can life.
yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I want to talk for a moment about how can anyone that wants to get involved, you did mention your website, right, that you have all the sayings and everything there. If somebody wants to get involved, whether it's to make hearts, to post words of encouragement. I saw that a school got involved with, instead of crocheting, they did the beads that you can
Mhm.
mount with the
Yep.
words of encouragement. Or if they want to donate, how can someone go about that to
Mhm.
support your cause?
We do on our website, there's a Venmo link to donate if you'd like to. I also have a full-time job, and then I spend 20 to 25 hours a week on this project. I don't make a dime. We don't sell our hearts. I hope we never sell our hearts. We do ship hearts all over. There are certain expenses, and so we appreciate any donation that we can have. And you can just do it. You don't, I mean, if you want to email me and ask questions, that's fine. Or you can just do it. That- That's it. That's as easy as it is. There are no forms to fill out. There's nothing. Just do it. My whole goal is to save a life. And my circle is this big, but your circle's over here, and somebody else's circle's here, and everybody has their circle of influence where you're going to help different people that I can reach. And that's the beauty of this.
And I want to point out too, the beauty in this is also that anybody can do it.
Yep.
Anybody can be involved. And something that I learned recently, I'm sure that you know this, but I was shocked when I found this out the other week that not all communities, not all states are open to discussing suicide prevention. And you had mentioned earlier that, talking about it doesn't cause it.
Right.
Talking about it is prevention.
Right.
Can you share with anyone that's listening that for them, just like me, that might be like I didn't realize that
Right.
in the importance of being able to talk about it.
Right. It's life-saving. So this project is based on my own struggles. So I speak from my experience. My degree is in marketing. It's not psychology or social work or education, but I learned from the experts. And the experts tell us talking about suicide does not cause it. If you ask a friend who's really struggling, are you feeling suicidal? And they say no. And they've never had the thought before. It does not plant that thought in their head. It just doesn't. The experts know this from research. It does not. And if they say yes, okay, now we've got things to help you and we've got people we can talk to. And by not talking about it, it adds to the shame. It adds to the stigma. Another thing that adds to the stigma around suicide is we want to say people died by suicide, not committed suicide. People commit crimes, people commit adultery. People who die by suicide are sick. They are not criminals. And so we want to say died by suicide. That helps also to take away some of the shame and lets people feel freer to ask for help and to talk about it.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I thank you for everything that you're doing with the Little Heart Project. You and I bet, could go on and on and on with sharing more stories.
Yeah.
But for everyone that's listening, remind them one more time where to go to learn more.
Our website is thelittleheartproject.org, and you can find everything you need there. My email address is on there if you've got questions. Otherwise, you can just do it and help your communities.
Well, remarkable. You give so much to everyone around the world. What is one thing that you do to recharge your battery so that you are able to give as much as you do?
That's a great question, and I love to ask other people that question too. For me, I love to be creative with I've made my own greeting cards for 30 years, with paper crafting, putting colors together that people would never think go together. And about a year ago, I started watercoloring. And my therapist calls that my medicine because it takes my whole brain. I'm not a trained artist, so I'll be, hey, Google, how do you make this color? And tell me.
Yeah.
And I love it. I say recovering perfectionist. I don't know how much recovering, but watercolor is messy. And so you have to just let go of that and let the colors blend and flow and learn what works and learn what doesn't work. And so that is how I recharge. Mhm.
And you mentioned like that you love to ask people that same question. Selfishly, the reason why I like to ask that question is so I can get more ideas like, okay, what do I need to do? Or what's an idea that I
Yeah,
can do to make sure I recharge my battery as well?
right. All of us need that something, and I of course love to look forward to vacations. I love to be near water. Water just like relaxes my shoulders. But there's too many people that just go through life and don't think about like what does recharge me. And
Mm,
especially those of us who give so much, it's like
hmm
I'm learning. It's I'm a slow learner, but I'm learning that how important that is. It's equally as important as me doing all the work with the Little Heart Project, that I can't help other people if I'm on empty.
Now, you called yourself a recovering perfectionist as a type A person over here.
Yeah.
What have you learned about not needing to be perfect and why that's okay.
Boy, that's a good question. Well, we can't be perfect, right? I mean, there's so many things in life out of our control. And as my healing, I've been in therapy for 12 years, and as my healing's not linear. And
Hmm.
so when I'm well enough to be focusing on that, I can be more gracious with myself. Like I would be for the entire world. I would be gracious and say, and mistakes happen. Let's pick up and move on. And I'm learning that with myself too. And I think too, when we're really busy, we have less time to focus on the little things because we just got to get stuff done.
Mm,
I think that's a, a good thing. It's not like overworking or like, it's just I've got a lot to do, so I need to take care of myself so that I can help other people.
absolutely.
And
See,
I
I
have
knew
a,
I could talk to you forever.
yeah, I know.
I knew I could.
Yeah.
Kathleen, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you know what a difference that you are making worldwide. You are an absolute gift and an angel, and I thank you so much for all that you're doing.
Thank you, remarkable Danielle.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Have a good night.